Hey guys, welcome back to NFL Trading Room. Today we've got another fun breakdown for you. We're going to be breaking down Aidan Chiles again. This time his performance against Boston College led the Michigan State Spartans to an overtime win over Boston College, 42 to 40. Played really well, and just really encouraging signs from Aidan Chiles so far in this 2025 season. The growth that he's made from his 2024 has really piqued my interest. A lot of the processing, a lot of the accuracy. Um, Still needs work, but he's definitely taking some big steps toward being a top prospect. And I think eventually I'm leaning towards him being eventually a first round pick, whether that's in 2026 or 2027. I would lean to that being 2027, but he's a very intriguing prospect. And let's get into the tape. All right, so this is the first play that we're going to break down. Here, Boston College. They're kind of in an interesting coverage here. Both of their outside corners seem to be playing man to man right here. And they seem to have a couple other man responsibilities like this um, nickel safety or walked down safety, whatever you want to call it, is manned up on this tight end right here. Um, but then here in the middle, you've got more zone type stuff. Um, You've got this linebacker playing kind of a midfield hook as well as this linebacker. This safety is just playing deep, so it's almost like a cover three concept in the middle of this defense, but the outside corners are playing man coverage. Um, and then as far as this edge defender right here, I believe he's supposed to man up this tight end when you see him come in motion, um, but he kind of gets lost and he reroutes, I believe, to this. Running back right here, which allows this tight end to come open. And then you've just got a standard four-man rush. They do slant it a little bit since they're dropping this edge out. Um, but that is it for the defensive alignment. Now moving on to the offensive side. And like I mentioned, this tight end is going to come in motion across the formation. And he's going to run about a 3-yard corner. And what's interesting is he kind of throttles us down. I think if you're watching the tape and he keeps it going, Chiles can get it to him a little bit earlier, and it could be an even bigger play. But this is who Chiles throws to right here. Um, this outside receiver, I don't really know what route he's trying to run. He kind of just muddies this middle of the field up and kind of gets in a stalemate with this corner right here. Ends up opening up some space, so I guess good job on him. This running back is in a check and release, so he's just blocking out to a swing route right there. And then on this backside, this tight end is on a flat route, and then this receiver is kind of on. It's hard to tell if it's like an out breaking route or if it's a stop coming back. Either way, he breaks it down right about there. Um, but yeah, that's the concept. Again, Chiles goes here with the football. Let's go ahead and roll the clip. So again, there he goes in motion. You see that edge defender kind of climb out. Again, I don't know if that edge player kind of got caught. He's actually, I mean, in decent position there if that's zone coverage. And you see Chiles kind of look his way. Um, if I'm Chiles, you may try to loft that there. But I can see why he might have turned that down. That linebacker kind of played that passing lane pretty well. Um, but I think Chiles has the arm to be able to get that just over him. But you see him going through all his progressions. 31 ends up being really his fifth read um, because he's looking to this side and he comes back. This is muddied up. And then he kind of checks over here. That's not there. Goes to the running back and then flips back to the tight end after creating a little bit of space in the pocket. That's something that I was really impressed with in this game from Chiles was the pocket presence. I thought took a jump from week 1 to week 2, which is always great to see, especially when you're playing against better competition. It wasn't always clean, but he's creating extra space. Um, from within the pocket just to make some throws easier. Um, if you want to be nitpicky, then you could say that throw's just slightly high, um, but it's still an effective throw. Gets it over the defenders. Um, a little bit off script. Just give your guy a chance in that situation. We'll watch it from the end zone cam really quick, and you can see the different reads that Chiles is going through here as he checks to his left, back to the middle, to the swing, into that corner route. Um, so one of my biggest gripes with Chiles last year was I thought he got to the right read pretty consistently, but the timing with which he got to those reads was too slow. And that was to be expected. He was a true sophomore. He only had a few starts as a true freshman before transferring over to Michigan State with his head coach, Jonathan Smith. Um, and so it was really his first full season as a starter. And so you would expect that timing to improve over time, and it definitely has so far this season. But I just really like seeing a quarterback go through reads like that quickly, being able to get the ball out after creating some extra space from within the pocket. I just think that's a great overall play that really shows some of the signs of growth that I'm seeing from Chiles so far. All right, on this play, um, BC is going to be running some of the same stuff. So you're going to have the outside corners on man coverage right here. Michigan State, on all three of the clips that I'm going to show, use motion to their advantage. Um, so they're going to bring this slot receiver in motion right there, which BC kind of shifts when they do motion. So this corner is going to end up being in man coverage on this receiver right here. Once that shift happens, this safety is going to end up manning up this receiver right here. And then it's going to be more of the same. You're going to have both linebackers in hook zones. This safety doesn't really get depth because he's on the goal line, so he's kind of just playing right there. Um, and then this uh, safety right here, kind of nickel corner, whatever you want to call him, floats into the box. Once they do shift, these linebackers shift over, and he's really just manning up the running back. Anything that he does, he mirrors. But as for the rest, and then you've got a standard four-man rush up front. For the offensive route combination, like I said, you're going to have this slot receiver come in motion, stack outside, and he's just going to run an out route. This outside receiver right here is going to run a really deep stop route right about there. This outside receiver is going to run an inside release crossing route. And then this tight end is going to run kind of a post, but it's a little bit flatter than what I would call a post. He ends up kind of diagonalizing it towards the end of the play. And then, of course, the running back, like usual, check, release to the flat. But Chiles, this is where he goes with the football. He's trying to hit the tight end right here. Ends up coming open late. I think this is another testament to Chiles' processing, not being too erratic, being patient within the pocket, but still playing on time. Love to see it. Definitely an area of improvement from last year. Um, and I think you'll be able to see the rocket arm that he does have on this play. Ends up being a drop by the tight end, but the tight end, he's got to come down with that. I thought it was a really good throw. If it's caught, it's a touchdown, and maybe Michigan State doesn't have to go to overtime. But let's go ahead and roll the clip. So there comes the receiver in motion, and you see they shift right there. So now this nickel corner is shifted into the box. This linebacker is flexed out. This linebacker didn't shift much, but the safety did walk down. Now he's manned up here. Corner's manned up out here. And there you see he kind of gets knocked off the route just a little bit, which causes that to be more diagonal towards the back pylon. It's almost like they were trying to do a rub route um, with the tight end as the rub man, but Chiles ends up working up through the pocket. See that step up right there? He's looking to the outside first, steps up, into a clean pocket, fires a laser. That's got to be caught. It's slightly high, but it has to be high in that situation. That's the only way he gets it over the defender. Um, but that to me, that's an NFL level throw right there. Absolutely, that's a Sunday throw all day long. And we'll watch the back angle really quick. You can just get another vantage point of it. Um, but I just really like what I'm seeing from Chiles so far this year. He's been a really fun quarterback to break down. And you see just, I mean, the anticipation, the timing that he's getting to that next read with, it's so much faster than it was last year. And that makes just a huge difference. Now, once they get into Big Ten play, going to be facing some better pass rushes. So Michigan State's had a relatively clean pocket for him so far this year. We'll see if that holds up once they get into conference play and if Chiles is still as confident stepping up into the pocket. But so far, still again, very encouraging signs. And there's the throw. That's a laser. That's got to be caught. Again, if it's caught, that's a touchdown. And it's probably a game-changing play at that point. Quick break in the breakdown. If you guys wouldn't mind to go down below and like and subscribe, drop a comment. That would just let us know that you're enjoying the content. We'll keep bringing breakdowns like this to you on YouTube. And let's get back into the tape. All right, last play that we're getting into here. This is why I love watching teams over and over again, because you start to see the tendencies that a lot of these offenses have. Goodness. But this is carbon copy of last week against Western Michigan from Aidan Chiles in this Michigan State offense. They're inside the 5-yard line. It's goal to go. And they're facing a man coverage defense right here. You've got man coverage right here, man coverage right there. This entire portion of the defense flies upfield on this play action quick. But outside of that, this defender right here kind of drops into his zone right there, as well as this defender right about there. But against man coverage, what's Michigan State going to do? You guessed it, they're going to run play action right here with this tight end actually coming in motion right there into the flat. That's a really deep flat, but you get the picture. And then this tight end is kind of going to block and just short release right there. But again, this is Michigan State's bread and butter in the red zone. Crossers right there. Create conflict in the middle of the field. One of them's going to come open. Michigan State gets great protection on these types of plays from their offensive line. And I mean, they run this to death against teams in the red zone, and it's really pretty to see because they execute it so well. And I mean, Chiles hits it in the same corner. This is the same corner of the end zone that they hit it last week. Same play. I think it's a different receiver. I believe last week he hit 6, but still coming from that same side. But again, just love this concept from Michigan State. Love the attention to detail, knowing that you're getting man coverage right here and dialing up this crossing type passing scheme. Because again, you've got this zone defender right here too. So once these three fly up the field on the play action fake with this underneath route by this tight end over here, you're really putting this zone defender in conflict, because if he plays low, you're going to hit the crosser. If he plays high, you're hitting this underneath man, and he's probably going to catch it and send the ball into the end zone. But overall, really like this concept. Let's go ahead and roll the clip. So there he goes in motion. Play fake right there. Same exact kind of roll to the right, short roll to the right. And then you get a lot more space this week. Last week it was a bit of a tighter window throw, but really good acceleration there by the receiver to get open on that. Good touch by Chiles to get it over that layer of defenders. But again, like you're putting that defender in conflict because he ends up being the only extra defender in coverage over there outside of the manned up corner. So if he wants to play that high, then the tight end's wide open. He plays it low. Guess what? Receiver is wide open. I really like this concept overall from Michigan State. NFL teams run this a lot against man coverage in the red zone, and their offense is very translatable. Oh, and by the way, this was the game winner. So you talk about the clutch factor of Aidan Chiles right here. A lot of the draft community was going crazy on this play because a lot of us have really liked what we've seen from Aidan Chiles. He's got all the tools, just needs to continue to piece it together, but really encouraging signs. And again, just a great throw right there. You can't place it any better than that. All right, guys, that does it for the Aidan Chiles breakdown against Boston College. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you would, please go down below and like and subscribe. That would really let us know that you're enjoying the content, and we'll bring more breakdowns like this to you on this platform. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you next time.